You can't stay motivated 100% of the time. That is one thing that you have to understand and accept. On a long journey, it's normal to get tired at some point. Let me just say that sometimes tiredness is a blessing. So whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're a student, whether you're learning a skill, whether you have a business, whatsoever it is that you're doing, and you're just feeling tired, like you're just tired of it. I'm tired as well, and basically I'm making this video to share some tips that have been helping me to get from the tired space to the point where I can let go of the tiredness and just move forward. Basically, my life recently has been like a blend of contrast. There's like a part of my life that is working out fine, that's looking like God is just sorting me. Every time it looks like, what am I going to do? How am I not going to get stranded? God just provides a solution, sends somebody, comes through for me. But there's also that part of my life that has been looking like no matter how much I try, right, it's just not coming together. Like, you know, the way that you say magnets, like poles repel or like poles attract. So there's been a part of my life that's been like the like poles that they're always attracting and it's blending well, it's looking like things are going fine. And then there's the other part that are behaving like the like poles, and no matter how much you're just trying to pull everything together, it just looks like they are just bent or falling apart. So it gets to that point where you start to feel tired. And that is why I'm making this video, basically, because I understand when you're at something, you're putting in so much effort and you're not seeing the results that you desire. Number one thing that has helped me understand that I'm a human being. Like, I'm human. It is natural for a human being, any human being, to get tired. You can't stay motivated 100% of the time. And that is one thing that you have to understand and accept. It is normal to get tired at some point, and if you refuse to acknowledge that, it makes you go hard on yourself. Driving yourself too hard can eventually lead to a burnout. So that is why you have to understand and accept the fact that at the end of the day, you're just a human being. Know the difference between just embracing laziness and feeling tired. Being lazy is not wanting to do something at all for no good reason. But when you're trying, you're putting in the effort and you're not really seeing it, or maybe you're working with resources that are not really the right resources, you're just trying to manage, trying to cope with the available resources. Even when you have the resources saved, on a long journey, it's normal to get tired at some point. Now, another thing that is very helpful, that has been helping me recently, is to remember why you started. Remember the reason why you started what you're doing. You know, if you're traveling, for instance, from like a faraway place and you're going home, you get tired on the journey, you have the thought of home in your mind. So you don't give up on the journey. If you remember the reason why you started, the reason why you have to do what you're doing, it has a way of keeping you motivated, keeping you encouraged. And it is better to actually write the reason down, whether you started, whether you're just starting. For instance, if you're learning a skill, why are you learning the skill? What are the things you hope to achieve using the skill? Whether it is financial freedom or financial independence, whether it is to be able to use the skill for an area of your life to help a particular group of people, you know, just the reason why you're learning the skill. If you're a student, why do you need to have good grades? For instance, it's easier to get scholarships abroad if you have good grades. Even if the opportunities in Nigeria are not so much, there can still be opportunities, right? At the end of the day, there are still like attachments, good things that come with having good grades. Also, like the pride in yourself, being able to achieve what you achieved, all of those things. Just what is your motivating factor? What is motivating you? What is making you learn that thing? If you're going into a business and the business is getting rough, ask yourself, why did I start this business? Should you get? So all of these things, if you write them down, whenever it is, because we're humans and we tend to forget fast. That is another human factor. Like, we tend to forget things really fast. So whenever it is that you forget why you started, you can always just go back and remind yourself. And once you remind yourself, it has a way of bringing like fresh strength, new strength, and you know, encouragement to you to keep going. One other thing is to have people that I look up to, or to just consume content related to that particular thing that I'm trying to achieve. Like, whatever it is, for instance, now that I'm creating content, to stay motivated, sometimes I consume content of people that I admire in the content creating space. Like people that, you know, are already doing so well. they are making the impact that you wish to make. Say for instance, there's a plot of land, undeveloped plot of land, and you're seeing bushes everywhere. The whole place is just looking like, it looks like you don't even want to come near the place. What keeps you going is the potential of that land, because you sit down and you see, maybe you plan to erect like a building on that land, and you have like, the design of the building that you want already. And when you look at the building, you look at the beauty, and then you start to see that building on that land, and that is what motivates you, that is what keeps you going. And then you get people to come and clear the land because you're seeing the potential. And that is the way it is too for anything. If you're able to see the end product, like what you're trying to achieve, if you're able to see people in your space already doing so well, that motivates you to get from point A, which is the uncompleted building, to point B, something beautiful, which is like somebody else that has been in that space for quite a while and is already starting to do well. So you know that if you stay in the process and continue to go on, then you have the chance of becoming that which you want to become. It is what you feed your mind that the mind works with. What a person has never seen, you cannot desire, right? So if you've not seen the end of where you're going, if you've not seen people prospering in your space, it's easy to get tired and say, why am I even doing this thing? But when you see that people are doing well in your space, when you see what your skill can become, it helps to keep you motivated. It keeps your eyes on the goal. Those are like the things that have really helped me recently, because life really at the end of the day is usually like you're working on one thing or the other, and it's easy to get discouraged sometimes because most times you're usually combining one thing with another thing. So it's easy to get overwhelmed and get tired, and you don't even want to go on sometimes. But consistency is important in achieving anything good. And lastly, let me just say that sometimes tiredness is a blessing as well. Sometimes if you don't get tired of a situation, you don't get motivated, you don't put in the efforts needed to actually get out of that situation. So in some cases where you're tired of a particular situation, maybe you should ask yourself, maybe it's time to actually move forward, move on from that point. Maybe you need like a change of business, or you need like a change of job. Maybe you need to start job hunting to get a better job. So tiredness can also be a blessing. Sometimes what you need is not motivation to keep going. Sometimes tiredness is like a signal to quit and do something better. So I just hope that you're able to find what point it is that you are in your journey, and if you're tired, I hope you get the strength to keep going. And if you need to quit and start something new, I hope that you find the courage to do so. So yeah, that's what I have for the day. If you're new here, my name is Fola, and you're going to be getting more of this kind of content often, like just few things that I've learned in like my own journey and experiences, and even in like the experiences of other people. If you have like any comments, please drop it in the comment section below. Subscribe, like the video, and if you have anyone that would gain something from the video, please share the video. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.